The simulation itself is designed to be something experiential. It is designed to make you feel like some of our students feel when completing tasks throughout the school day.
Hello everyone, this is Ekaterina with Trust Me Mom. Today I would like to share my experience going through a dyslexia simulation at Provident Charter School. Provident Charter School is a specialized dyslexia school based in Pennsylvania, and it has two locations, one in Pittsburgh, one in Baden. When I was in simulation with other parents, I heard reactions such as, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was so hard for my child. I felt stupid," or "I just wanted to give up. I could not keep up with the assignment. I want to be a class clown. I don't want others to feel that I'm stupid and label me as stupid. I would rather attract attention in a different way and kind of joke around and be a class clown versus a stupid kid." There were some parents who were left in tears. The reason it was so powerful is because it let us experience firsthand how our kids feel at school. Let me tell you step by step what that dyslexia simulation was. At first, our large group was gathered at the big gym at school, and we heard a really enlightening presentation about dyslexia myths, how brains work, dyslexic brain versus non-dyslexic brain, how dyslexic people may compensate for some of the differences they have.
If it doesn't seem obvious why ensuring that literacy is achieved for children in elementary school, there are just a lot of bad outcomes. And so we are really passionate about catching this early. We have all worked with middle and high school non-readers, and it's just harder and it takes longer.
Some of really scary statistics about people who end up in jail or involved in crime because of the difficulties they had at school and never got the resources needed to succeed.
We are able to spare so much anguish if we can do this earlier.
And after that presentation, our big group was split into 3 smaller groups that rotated to different classrooms. Teachers treated adults as kids in their class. They called us by name and gave us different assignments. Some of the assignments imitated the environment that a person with ADHD would experience, such as so many stimuli, so many loud noises and distractions that it's very hard to focus on the actual task. Other assignments included using your non-dominant hands. So I am right-handed and I had to use my left hand. There were other modifications, such as we had to decode letters and numbers. So for example, flip numbers with alphabet letters, or for instance, replace A with @ sign, or maybe $sign, or any other symbols.
You're going to write the capital letters of the alphabet in cursive. E.
So that was difficult too, and often those tasks were timed, and of course nobody could accomplish it in time. Another very interesting and difficult assignment was reading, where it was a book with some decoded gibberish language, where we had to go back and forth to see the legend, where you can understand what those symbols may mean, what kind of letters or punctuation, and then try to quickly edit up in your head how that word will sound with those gibberish symbols. That was hard too, and most people were very embarrassed when it was their turn to read.
Elves.
Elves. No, there's an exclamation point there.
We are busy elves.
Good. Keep going.
We are in
Oh, you know that word.
all
Uh-huh.
these books.
Good.
Teachers created an environment where they would motivate us as in a typical school environment, such as, "Come on, Johnny, you can do it. You got this. I know you know this word." And in reality, it was more aggravating their encouragement, because at that moment, Johnny could not really figure it out because it was almost impossible. You have to be a genius to quickly decode this fake gibberish language to figure out how that would sound in English.
And with me standing, hovering close to you, being like, come on, you know this one. I mean, like, was any of my feedback helpful? And even though we're being encouraging, it's like, you know,
The opposite.
it makes you think, yeah, like, actually, I don't know. So
It was very hard. And at the end of the day, at the end of 2 hours, we were fried. We were exhausted. And our teachers reminded us that kids experience this kind of learning 7 hours a day. And on top of that, in the traditional school, kids also have homework. Imagine how exhausted they are. No wonder they have all these tantrums and feel really depressed about going to school.
I accidentally put the lowercase and then I realized, oh, I have to do the uppercase.
And did you have to stop, erase, and change that?
Yep.
After going through dyslexia simulation, I really would like to encourage you to complete it too, because it's a very eye-opening experience. It will help you develop so much empathy for your child or people around you. There was one inspirational story by one of the teachers who ended up earning a PhD, and she shared how hard it was for her as a kid, that she and her mom will end up in tears every evening trying to learn and study, and it was just very hard without any accommodations or modifications.
reading is difficult. Reading instruction, some of you may hear of what now the science of reading. One would think we kind of figured this out, and actually we have. We do know how to teach children to read. English is code-based, it's phonetic. You can learn the sounds, how to put them together for reading, how to take them apart for spelling. You can do that explicitly, and even with someone who has a neurological condition, you do that in a multisensory way, slow and taught to mastery, and it happens.
For example, the Wilson reading program involves tapping, and it has, I believe, color-coded cards. There are a lot of ways to help children process that information and learn and retain it, and it's very encouraging.
We weren't wired to learn to read, and so it does have to be intentional and explicit work. We are wired to learn to speak. You can put a baby in a home with a foreign language and they will learn that language, just by mere exposure. Children do not learn to read by mere exposure.
And what's amazing about dyslexic kids is that typically they have other gifts and skills. So their brain will overcompensate for lack of certain connection, and often dyslexic kids may see a bigger picture, have a very non-standard solution to a problem. That's why so many successful people and geniuses and famous people are dyslexic, because they're able to step out of the standard thinking and zoom out and see a different solution to a problem. So I hope I inspired you to go through dyslexia simulation yourself and see how it feels to be dyslexic and better understand your child.